This is episode 133.
This is American Fork, the one place where you can come to hear Jeff tell you how it is.
Shut up, Phil.
Right?
The Mansplain
Jake
podcast.
doesn't even know what's happening right now.
Oh, yes he does.
No,
No
he
idea.
doesn't. He just got here.
Well,
What's going on?
on this podcast, we like to explore the news, especially the news from American Fork, Utah, the place we all grew up at and lived in, and where The Sandlot was completely produced and executed.
As previously discussed.
Yep.
Should we mention that we may be having the producer of Curse of Crime?
No, we shouldn't say that.
Don't say it.
Oh.
No, don't say that.
Yeah,
Because who knows?
Don't say
that's just a
Curse
rumor.
of Crumb.
Nope, don't say
Okay.
that.
We should note that in addition to myself and Jeff and Jake, we have the Holy Spirit with us, who has not been here in a long time,
Since last week.
but who I believe has something very important to say. Right?
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
Yeah.
The profoundness.
Oh, you guys heard
There
it.
you go.
You only hear it here.
Did
on
you catch
American
my
Fork
Matrix
podcast.
reference? You probably missed that.
I totally missed it.
I was like,
I took the blue pill.
Next I'll have someone speak who has not been here in a long time, but I think has something very important to say.
Is it beyond the first one?
I give you Morpheus.
Yeah, I don't care.
And then
about that.
Morpheus gives like the most epic thing ever.
Which Matrix is this?
The second one.
Welcome to the American.
machines will not. Whatever. You don't remember that?
Remember the American Fork podcast.
They will take
where
our lives,
Phil
but they can't take our freedom.
reenacts a stupid. That's not even. That's not the Matrix.
Okay.
Oh, but they did say a car in every driveway, a meal in every home. What? Something like that? Never mind.
And
that-
fentanyl under every pillow.
Was that your JFK impression?
I think it was. Was it good?
Did you guys not watch Jerry Seinfeld thing on Netflix? It was
What
called
is it?
like Unfrosted, I think.
Oh, that
That's a
is
good
so
movie.
funny.
Yeah, it was
so
so
funny.
You got to watch it. I think you'd like it a lot.
Okay, I'll
It
watch
has
it.
that comedian on that like is
So many
just like you.
comedians.
Oh, the Pale Force.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pale guy.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's my doppelganger since my celeb doppelganger.
He really is. If you stood up and like
Philip Seymour Hoffman
went like
died.
this while you talked, you would be him. Totally.
Talking about bacon.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
Bacon? I don't even like bacon. I don't know. I can't do it.
They put bacon on meat
Yeah,
to make it better.
exactly.
Cake, great.
Even cooking bacon
Fruit.
sounds like cheering.
Good.
Ah, bacon.
Fruitcake. Nasty crap.
For some reason, I still couldn't find American Fork stories, and I only found sexual abuse stories
From
in Provo.
what?
Yeah,
Didn't we already go over this?
this is another one.
We're re-recording the episode.
Wow.
We've actually talked about this before, but over 200 women have come forward and joined the lawsuit against that OBGYN doctor.
Oh.
So the lawsuit got thrown out, I think, because they were basically like, "This is a malpractice case. You should be doing that."
It's not a civil case. Interesting.
Pretty much, but the Utah Supreme Court revived the case, and then I think 94 to 100 women have come forward.
Isn't the guy like 94 years old?
I think he's old, yeah.
One
One per
case
year.
for every year of his life.
And this is actually like, so I've talked to my wife, and she actually knows a few people that saw this doctor, and they were like, "Oh yeah," I was like weirded out. And I'm not a woman, but I've accompanied my wife a few times to these type
Really?
of visits. Yeah, per
could
her
just-
request.
Just
like,
say you're a woman.
yeah, I'm
you
a
will be.
woman.
Ugh.
You haven't gone to your wife's like
No.
gynecological.
Well, I mean, when she was
things?
pregnant, I think there was a few.
I think she's asked me to come when it's a man. Like she's
Oh,
seen
yeah.
a couple different doctors. And when it's a dude, she's like, she takes her mom or she takes me, like someone. She just like, I don't know, feels more comfortable.
I wouldn't go to my
Makes
wife's
sense.
appointment.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't go to your wife's appointment.
Yeah.
Just making sure you know that.
I did though.
In case you were planning on inviting me,
yeah.
I
Don't
went
to
call
say
me.
no.
I
Lose
went
my
to one.
number.
It was cool. They had like a.
It was cool.
They had her leg spread and a
Okay.
camera stuck all the way up to her kidney, and so I was like looking at the inside of the kidney on the screen, and they pulled it out of her, and it was like backwards down a tunnel.
Were they checking her tonsils
And
too?
I was like, that was cool. And the doctor
Jeez.
was like, who is this immature person you brought in here?
cool. Do that again.
Did you bring your oldest son? What is this?
Nope. Anyway,
Phil.
but I could see if in that type of exam, if instead of me making dumb jokes, the doctor said something
Yeah.
Something on
Don't-
the Simpsons doctor would say.
yeah, don't worry, I sewed her up extra tight for you, husband. Like things like that, apparently, are what this doctor was.
The honeymoon
Doing.
stitch. You heard of
What's
that one?
wrong with that?
What's wrong with it?
Have you ever heard of that?
Well-
That's a funny term. It's not
We
real.
better edit all this, but like for real, like if a gynecologist said that, it would just be kind of a joking thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and I understand it's
but,
probably not a
like,
place
now
to
if
joke
he's
about.
like sitting in there like, man, like going weird.
Well-
like that's weird,
Well, see,
right?
according to my wife, these people are saying he did. Like, they're like, oh, it was actually uncomfortable to have sex after because he like did this thing that he didn't talk to us about, give permission or anything. Like, I didn't ask to be sewn up tighter than I was, type thing. So it was like, it wasn't just the comment. It was like he was
Maybe it's not a joke. I should clarify that. But I always thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Well, maybe I'd never even heard about such a thing, but
Well, I know that they can fix that.
Yeah.
Like, they can fix things down there.
Yeah.
yeah. Apparently, some of these women are claiming that he examined them like without a glove, like just like
Yeah,
stick
that
his finger up there.
seems a little.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
know.
little weird.
I see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a woman, and I go
Phil,
into the doctor and he
What
just
is
like
a woman?
yeah,
Phil, if someone makes a Subway sandwich for you without a glove, like that's a little unnerving.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Go to the
You see what I'm
dentist and
saying?
they don't put on a
Yeah.
glove.
Exactly. Or
Well, no, not just that. She claims that she went to him, he didn't use a glove, and then she had an STD.
suddenly transmitted disease.
Yeah. So she actually, and this is before she claims, this is a woman claiming that she went to this doctor for like a marital consultation, whatever. Like I'm going to be married. I've never had sex. And I
Like
need
you take your car and I'm going on a road trip.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
exactly.
want you to examine.
Want to
the
make
whole
sure
thing.
everything
You're
works.
gonna ride this thing
okay.
hard.
Get an oil change.
And then she leaves that, and before she gets married and has sex, according to her, she finds out she has an STD.
Wow.
So pretty wild.
All
So-
the TDs, none of the fun.
yeah. So, and if this guy was examining people without gloves, like patient after patient, you could see why very easily someone would have picked up an STD.
Next.
Story.
No, that's what he said.
Oh,
Hi, I'm Dr. Nick.
Hi, everybody.
hi everybody. We don't use gloves anymore.
Whoopsie.
Got the honeymoon
So
stitch.
that's a bummer. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and it had to happen in Provo too, and
He
not
sounds
West
like
Valley.
a dick.
Yeah, that's why that story was called Provo's Dr. Dick.
Wow.
You get it?
Yeah. Thanks, Phil.
Oh, I get it.
Dr. Ick.
Yeah. So 200 women have joined the lawsuit now. It's a big deal. So he's probably gonna be in big trouble. I don't know why. I mean, I get the lawsuit, but you would think if there's that much stuff, they'd be going after his license.
He's probably retired.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's probably true.
Like, take my license. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just get off my lawn.
On to wider Utah news. Utah is number 4 in toxic chemicals and happiness.
Happiness.
Uh,
There's a
there's a story there. Yeah.
This is the story about someone
Utah
who died
has
in
the
American Fork.
fourth most toxic chemical releases of any state. The majority come from one source, and I bet you can guess what that source is.
It's my house, and when I pass gas, too much tacos.
Yeah, too much tacos at Jeff's house.
Is that what it is?
No, it's I guess it's not called Kennecott anymore.
Rio Tinto.
Is it?
Rio Tinto owns Kennecott Copper Mine.
Oh,
It's still the
no, but I thought
Kennecott
it was called like Bingham Canyon Mine or something.
It is called that too.
Oh, okay.
She goes by many
It
pronouns.
has all the names.
Yeah, but apparently they dump all their water waste in like some town out somewhere.
Magna.
No.
Yeah.
It's owned by Kennecott Copper. The Rio Tinto mine produces copper. Blah blah blah. I can't remember what the town was.
Did you want to talk to me about this or what?
Yeah.
Magna.
I'm telling you right now, it's in Magna.
No.
Magna.
Oh, is that
Campo
where it is?
included tailings ponds just north of Magna.
North of Magna is
East
what
of
I
the
was
Great
looking for.
Saltaire.
Yeah, it's like vineyard. Like they just set up their own little town so they can do crazy stuff.
Yeah,
there
there's
with
not
it.
really anything north of Magna. It's just the lake, right?
It's actually pretty big. That first picture you showed was Magna.
Oh,
Like
that
those
little
ponds.
that thing?
Yeah, to the left.
Red
that's
hot.
Magna.
Red
Oh,
hot.
In fact,
okay.
right where you're
Right
like
there.
see the fields and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a golf course in Magna
Oh, okay.
and something else.
And this is where they're dumping all the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it looks like
What kind of
water.
stuff, though?
They're
It's-
just saying the water waste. I don't
the
know what that
byproducts.
means.
All the
They put
byproducts
some
of
gold
the-
there and
It's
some
net.
silver
It's
and some
net.
good stuff.
Yeah.
No,
I
they
hope
take
so.
all that
I'm
out.
just kidding. I know they'll probably put mercury in there. We don't know.
Yeah. Straight mercury.
No, it's straight Uranus.
Anyway, that's pretty wild that we're
Yeah.
the fourth highest toxic chemical release
What are the
of
other
any state.
chemical releases though? Because I'll bet you, I don't know. I thought we'd be higher than 4 actually. The reason why is because you got to think the federal government has stored nerve agent, mustard gas, like nuclear waste,
Oh,
like
yeah.
all kinds of stuff in Utah.
Californians.
Californians. Wait, what?
Californians.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty wild though. I don't know what the solution is.
But what about the happiness part of it?
Oh, let's find out.
Number 4 in toxic chemicals and happiness.
Yeah, so
We're
that's
happy because the toxic chemicals go in the air.
so
Makes us
you may
happy.
have remembered we said maybe 100 podcasts ago, oops, wrong thing, that Utah had garnered the number 1 position for happiness in the country, but it's fallen down to number 4.
I'd say we're number 1 in meh,
Yeah.
right?
So in 2023, we were the happiest state in the union.
Wow.
And in 2024, we're 4th.
Okay, we know this is rigged because New Jersey. Ain't no way.
I saw that and I was like, what?
Jersey
No way.
and Delaware.
Oh, no. But Hawaii makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Maryland?
No.
Jake,
No.
you need to voice this.
No, not Maryland.
Yeah, I feel like they were like, we just need like, I don't know.
Yeah, it
Some
probably went
east.
Hawaii, then Utah. Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware all bought their way in.
Yeah.
They paid this article person.
Like if I were going to make a list off the top of my head, I would say Hawaii.
Yeah, but
Utah.
Hawaii has a nasty, nasty meth problem. Did you know that?
Montana.
I didn't.
And homeless people, too.
Have you ever been there
Really?
though?
No.
I haven't been there, but like when my parents just went and what they described was just like paradise. You get off the plane, there are all these people dancing in hula skirts, smiling at you, putting flowers over you, just softly waving their hands in the air, drinking coconuts. The weather's beautiful, fish are swimming in the sea. I mean, how could you not be happy?
30
with
years ago, same exact thing. 30 years, still the same thing. So Jeff told me about this meth.
yeah,
I don't know.
I would say even if everyone there is on meth, it'd
It's
still
fine.
be the happiest
Fine.
place. Yeah.
Google Hawaii meth. I don't know.
Okay.
Just see what kind of images pop up when you do that.
Hawaii 5 meth.
5.
He's trying to find a white eyeball people.
Yeah. All right.
Now go click images. Just click images. See what happens.
Oops. And then I gotta
Images
start
of
over.
meth in Hawaii.
Hawaii meth. I didn't get Hawaii in there all the way. I typed
I
high.
have a friend that lives there now, pretty much, and he describes it as a magical paradise too.
Yeah.
I actually
He's
don't doubt it.
he's a very Mormon, great good guy, everything. Like
So,
very strict and everything.
Would you say he's happy?
No, he's extremely happy, and when he's there, he loves it.
So,
Like I don't know if I could live somewhere and be. I have a hard time being landlocked. Correct. So that's hard for me, but Hawaii sounds amazing.
Oh, you could lock me there, no problem.
So Hawaii is incredible. Don't get me wrong.
So we pulled up this article. Hawaii's meth trade resembles Breaking Bad.
That was 2 years ago.
Last week, a local woman was accused of carrying 2 pounds of crystal meth in a carry-on bag at Honolulu's Daniel K. Inouye International Airport.
Wow, that's cool. 2 pounds. What else?
That's a lot of meth.
That's 2
It
years
is
ago.
a lot.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
That was when they weren't the happiest.
Objection, irrelevant.
This year alone, law enforcement has seized in Hawaii 1,200 pounds of meth.
1,200.
That's a lot
crazy.
for that little island.
Well, and here's another
2 years
thing
ago,
too. This
irrelevant.
is
Those
actually what
islands.
this is also rumor and what I've just heard. I
Yeah.
don't know for sure.
You don't know.
But there's a lot of homeless people in Hawaii because the real estate and everything there is so expensive.
Cost of living is
That
incredibly
makes
high.
sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
So and I think that the homeless situation and the meth and it all kind of goes hand in hand. It's a situation all around. But I don't know. I've never been there. My
Well-
parents go there all the time. They love it.
if I was homeless,
Seems like a
I'd
pretty cool
love
place.
to live in Hawaii homeless.
It'd be like-
Let's be honest.
I would
It'd
too.
be like San Diego
Screw
or
LA.
Hawaii.
Go to freaking Hawaii.
like if my whole family died and I had nothing else, like I'm just like, okay, I'm going to be homeless. I would just buy a plane ticket to Hawaii. I wouldn't even take 1 more cent with me. I'd just be like, this is who I am now. I'd walk off that plane, walk straight to the ocean, lay in the sand,
Mm-hmm.
just like wait for a coconut to roll in my hand from the coconut tree,
The local meth dealer.
eat it, do some meth.
The first
and go
one's always
snorkeling.
free. I always knew that homeless life was like that was your jam.
Yeah.
Guys with backpacks
Yeah.
walking around in
It
the wilderness.
really is my jam.
Urban wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing holding me back is like a wife and kids.
That's cool. And they're worth it.
Yeah, I like them.
The only thing holding me back from my homeless dream is a wife and kids.
Yeah.
Dang those kids.
Gosh darn it. Stopping you from fulfilling your fantasies of total collapse.
That's a true story.
Wow.
Anyway, Hawaii has a lot of meth, and Utah is now the 4th. I don't think they said why we're bounced down to 4, and we're below New Jersey by some miracle. Which New Jersey I thought was like the butt of every joke.
It's
ever.
terrible.
Yeah.
Ever.
I
I love how they interviewed 5 people in New
Yeah.
Jersey who were like, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm just about to move to Utah.
That's why they're all coming here. I get it. Oh, bless you, New Jerseyans. Whatever you're doing over there.
Yeah. The people they interviewed in New Jersey were Mormon missionaries who,
Oh,
lived
yeah.
who were from Provo.
We saw a lot of missionaries.
Who've never been on the turnpike.
Yeah.
Speaking of missionaries, we had missionaries come to our house the other day.
Yeah. Did they mow the lawn?
No,
Oh.
they just like knocked on the door, and I was like, "Hey, missionaries!" And we were all watching a movie, but I paused it and like, "Come on in," And they're talking to the kids and stuff, hanging out, and they're like, "So we saw on the records that
You have not been coming to church.
your son has not been baptized," and we were like, "Oh, he has," and they were like, "Oh." And I was like, that was the point of this whole meeting, wasn't it?
Is that why your daughter put all the no soliciting signs on your door?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Because the missionaries came over.
I think I asked her that. I'm like, was that for the missionaries? And she's, I don't remember what it was. They were pretty funny though.
That is really funny.
What'd she say? Like, you better not come back here or we'll get nasty or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things will get nasty.
Yeah.
So
That's
your son
funny.
was baptized, but it's not on the record.
They
of the
did. Yeah,
church?
they didn't record it. So.
So
I had
here
to
we go
to-
again.
So he has to go baptized again?
No, I just had to like sign a paper saying he was.
He didn't check that one box.
All is solved.
Did you do it at the cabin or something? At the property?
Oh, the baptism? No, actually, the bishop and the stake president were there,
Oh,
and they didn't record it.
wow.
So Anyway.
Speaking of unwanted visitors, I'm going to tell you this story.
Okay.
I actually mentioned it to Phil already, but I was on my way to the podcast tonight. I walk out of my house just like, skipping with a picnic basket like I always would,
Yeah.
Naturally.
And this guy comes up to me and goes, "Hey, are you Jeff?" And he's like, "We got something to talk about." I'm like, "Oh, okay, here we go." I'm thinking like, I don't know what happened, but I figured he was like in the neighborhood because he walked up to me.
Uh-huh.
He had
Like,
fentanyl.
I don't know what was going on, but he's like, "I'm here to repossess your 2021 Camaro." And I'm like, "What?"
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's already gone. I never had one.
Where's it at? And I'm like, "Dude, I don't own one." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah,
And you
by
could
the way,
tell-
Jeff drives like a 1985 Chevy Suburban.
That's right. Go for it.
So,
Yeah.
97, isn't it?
It's a 99 Tahoe, guys.
oh, is it?
Get it right.
99?
And her name is Fiona.
Oh,
That's right. Shrek's girlfriend.
Thank
Because
you.
she's green and beautiful.
yeah. That's a good year.
She's beautiful
Yeah.
inside.
Like the turn of the century was good
Yeah.
for cars.
But anyway, so this guy like has my address, has my name, says the collector is this bank,
Wow.
which believe it or not, I actually have an account at. Anyway. I'm like, what the hell is going on here, dude? Like, I'm looking at him like, yeah, I don't have a car. He's like, well, we can do this easy way. You just open up your garage, show me you don't have it in there. I'm like, okay. So we open the garage and it's not in there. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, yeah, let me look into this a little further. Anyway, long story short, we think that they just randomly grabbed a name and address and they put it as like alternate addresses when they do fraudulent loans and stuff. They do like alternate
someone
names
who
and
got
addresses.
it actually got a Camaro,
Yeah.
got a hold of your address, or just
Yeah, exactly. Like from who knows what data leak.
They probably
or-
just Googled your name.
Yeah, who knows? And if it came up with my address, great. But anyway, they looked a little further into it, and he's on the phone with his boss, and he's like, his boss is like, "What's his name?" He's like, "Jeff Draper," and he's like, "That's a really common name." He's like, "It's probably just bull crap." He's like,
or
"Get his
some other
number,
Jeff.
get his number. We'll figure it out for him and let him know." But they looked a little further into it, and this Camaro is registered in Georgia. So if anyone out there named Jeff Draper in Georgia has my Camaro,
Bring it
I don't know.
back
I guess
to him.
just drive it home.
Bring it back to Utah so he can have it towed
I
already.
actually need a car.
So
you
we
know?
can
Yeah.
boost the happiness
All
level
my
in the
cars
state.
are old.
Yeah.
I could use a 2021 Camaro. I don't really like those though.
I haven't seen him.
The 21 Camaro?
Yeah.
Get a ZL1 and you will.
Oh, that's true.
Let's pull it up and look at it.
Let's see what my car looks like
2021.
that apparently I haven't been paying for.
Oops. I keep hitting. It's because the mic is in the way of this thing.
You know, I would
Yeah.
I'd rather have a Challenger or a Charger, probably.
Camaro.
Yeah, that's cool. It's just,
Yeah. It just looks like. I feel like Camaros lately haven't been.
they're just
Super
not
fun.
super cool. I mean, you're probably right.
It just looks
Holy
like a
Spirit.
Mustang to me.
The Holy Spirit's right. I'm sure there's some really cool models. that
Go
you
to
can
the
get.
ZL1 and you'll be like,
Camaro.
yeah, I like that.
ZL1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cooler.
Yeah. It looks like the Batmobile.
The light,
Yeah.
the light opening is a little small, squintier.
So Jim Gaffigan just hacked Jeff's
Right.
What?
stuff.
Why?
He lives in Georgia.
Oh, he
and
does?
that's what happened.
Oh, I
Put
see.
in your
Oh.
information when
He
he got
looks
his
like
loan.
me. Yeah.
He looks like you.
Have you seen the new Corvettes though? They're like,
They look like Ferraris.
yeah,
They really do. They look great. And supposedly they drive fantastic.
yeah,
I see him around a lot, actually.
and they're like $100,000. Remember when a
Wow.
Corvette was like 40,000?
Yeah.
I do.
That's when 40,000 was like 100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, but do you also remember when like Chevy Suburbans are like 120,000 now?
yeah. Remember when a
Easy.
brand new truck was like 20 grand?
Yeah.
They're
Fully
Remember-
loaded.
like the crazy like an F-350 fully loaded with leather seats was insane, and at like 35,000.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like easily 100.
You can't even get a F-150 that's 2
Remember
years
when
old.
eggs were less than $2 a dozen?
Yeah,
But speaking about eggs, that's gone up. Again, we're at $5-6 a dozen.
yeah, they're crazy.
Right now, again.
Way up.
Remember when everyone had a dollar menu?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
no more.
it actually worked.
It's not even a $2 menu. It's the $5 menu now.
Yeah, I'll go get 3 what used to be dollar menu items. It'll be like $8.
Yeah, well, I told you that my dentist raised their prices by like 60%.
Well, it's all the freaking gas you use.
It's all the raccoons
It is the gas.
on her head.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, thanks for being honest, Phil.
Anyway, on to our next segment.
Thank God. I was getting so bored.
This is just like a little tadpole of wisdom.
Tidbit.
A little fact. Because before we were arguing about Boeing, and we were like, why would Boeing's CEO get a big raise? What the F?
Yeah, why would he?
Well, Boeing's gross annual profit for 2023 was $7.72 billion, a 118% increase from 2022. I would say that is why.
All due to one dude at the top.
All due.
Yep.
All due to Obama
Yeah.
and the Air Force One.
All those Air Force Ones that they bought.
Yeah, exactly.
Their profit for 2022 was $3.5 billion, which was a 15% increase from 2021. And that's what I was saying. Even though they had like a bunch of planes that blew up, if I were on the board and saw those numbers, I'd be like, "Good job, CEO. Here's a big fat
what was
ball."
it?
Wait, how did they do that during COVID? No one's traveling. No one's doing anything.
I think they're all buying planes, though. They must have been.
That's
What
nuts.
did you say the Air Force One cost was?
It was over $5 billion, and then it went down to...
So more than 50% of Boeing's revenue was from two planes?
No, that's their gross profit.
Oh, profit.
So if the contract for two Air Force Ones was, let's say, $4 billion, we don't know what the profit on that would have
But
been.
you're silly. They don't just do airplanes. They do way more than that.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But $7 billion in profit is a
Starliner.
bunch
Yeah.
of profit.
They also manufacture Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
So that's a big part.
Is
And
that,
they just
Well,
is that real?
almost 20% increase in profit. That's what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah, that's
Most
huge.
companies ship for 8% profit, not 120. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of fentanyl.
Yep.
Anyway,
Transported right from Colombia.
that's
Hey.
right.
They also bottle Miss Fresca. So, just saying.
This next story is called Green Pieces All Over the Floor.
Thirsty.
What?
I don't know if you heard about this story, but do you remember there was a guy? You remember the thing called the Keystone Pipeline, which
Yeah.
Trump talked about?
Yeah, he talked about it.
Oh, no, sorry. It's the Dakota Access Pipeline. So a
Okay.
different pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I guess there was some leaks or something like that. And this billionaire dude that was like one of the owners or whatever, is suing Greenpeace to force them into bankruptcy. And he's alleging that they act. So if you don't know who Greenpeace is, they're like an international nonprofit who, like, if there's some whales dying, they're going to be out there with signs. Like they're the people with signs saying, save the whales, save these trees, quit dumping sulfuric acid in West Valley?
Utah. Magna.
Where was it?
that.
Magna. That
Yeah.
was it. Anyway, he's suing them because he's alleging that they actually sabotaged and attacked the pipeline and caused it to leak.
Yeah.
And apparently he's got a very good case, and Greenpeace is already like preparing for bankruptcy in the United States.
Good.
Because he's like pushing to pretty much force him out of business.
Who's going to save the grasshoppers?
Green piece of crap.
Yeah. Anyway, the
only-
lawsuit, which
The only
seeks-
green piece I want to talk about is when the Hulk fights Thor and a toe gets chopped off.
Get it?
Green piece of toe.
Is it? There's green guy.
The lawsuit, which seeks $300 million in damages, would probably crush Greenpeace, though it does not pose such a great threat to their international operations because the organization's main organizing body, based in the Netherlands, which is sketchy, right?
I don't think
Why would
so.
you be based in the Netherlands? Isn't that like the drug capital of drugs?
They probably have
it?
favorable laws.
Oh, maybe.
They were probably very, very environmentally friendly there.
Yeah, they actually started in Canada, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's like
Totally.
Right.
hug some maple trees and kiss some moose on the face,
Right.
and just be nice to
Justin
everybody.
Trudeau. Right.
Blame Canada.
Anyway,
Truckers.
Mother
Right.
truckers.
anyway, now they're in the Netherlands. They're getting sued pretty bad. I think that's pretty messed up. Like and that's not unheard of. There have been some cases where like one of the things I've heard about is there were some people from like PETA who were like sneaking into like dog pounds to like euthanize the dogs. They'd like sneak in and kill dogs
To make it look like the pounds are mistreating and killing their dogs.
Yeah, that and like when they
Put 'em out
got
of their
caught, they were
misery.
like, "Well, I'm putting them out of their misery because you horrible
Like a mercy
people."
kill.
Yeah, because they're just in a cage or whatever. So sometimes these people who are environmental can go a little wild, and if they were going and like causing oil spills to make the company look bad, it kind of makes them look like freaking idiots. Because it's like you realize you just like spilled oil all over nature.
You just
right?
did the thing that you
Yeah.
didn't want to have happen.
Exactly.
Well, like
Which-
there's other things too. Like I think they call it spiking, where they'll run metal spikes into trees that
Yeah.
are being forested,
They can't get cut
so
down,
that
or
when they
it'll break
start
the
cutting
saws.
down, it breaks it. It doesn't
breaks
just
all-
break the equipment; it actually can kill people.
Oh
because-
yeah, I bet.
yeah.
Have you seen like those saws, like crazy tree saw?
Fern Gully saw.
The blades on them are just like insane. Like watch this. Oh,
Yeah,
this is
listener,
bad.
watch this, listener.
Anyway, we're
Can you
watching
see
this
it?
big attachment. Yeah, shut up. This is the worst video I could find, probably.
Yeah, he grabs it.
Yeah, show us.
It
Show
grabs
us.
it and then it cuts the bottom.
Yeah,
of
look
the
at the
tree,
blade spinning right there.
and then it just like.
And imagine that
shaves the
thing
whole
hitting.
So imagine an attachment on the front of a tractor.
Yeah.
They can just go right up to a tree and just cut it right in half in
Just like that.
1 second.
And then it pulls the tree down and then cuts off all the branches.
Yeah. Like what you heard was them cutting through a whole tree. So yeah, I could see how like a big metal spike would like cause things
Yeah.
to go flying.
Yeah, it's insane, and they do it to try and save the trees, basically. But
Yeah.
it's like they also are doing it. It hurts people.
Yeah. I feel
It's
like
just-
there's a simple solution though, called a magnet. And one guy could walk in front of the tractor and like
Oh, there's a metal
test
spike
the
in
tree.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
cut that one down.
Yeah, Phil, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Why don't you call them?
I will.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But also they hurt that tree.
385 Dad
Yeah.
Zero mug.
They
They-
put a spike in the tree.
Yeah, they spike the tree.
Yeah, which is unnatural.
And then everyone else that comes around drinks
Phil,
it and
they
gets
don't
drunk.
actually care about the trees.
Oh, what do you think they care about?
Publicity.
Publicity and causing a ruckus.
They're like Lindsay Bluth up in the tree. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the
They don't even know why they're there.
she like ties herself up there with like some tree hugger guy and he's tied to the tree and she's like, I'm gonna protest with you. And she like gets up in the tree and then one day he's untied and he's like up there with her. She's like, how did you get untied? He's like, I want to run away with you. She's like, I think you're gross.
Yeah.
Good time.
Thanks, Phil.
Anyway,
So wait. Okay, so billionaires trying to destroy Greenpeace within court.
yeah.
Okay.
This segment is called "The U.S. Deficited in My Face."
Why is that funny?
Because it sounds like defecated.
Oh,
you
I
get it?
get it. Yeah.
Take a guess. What is the national deficit
7 trillion.
for 2023?
7 trillion 400 million
That
or
would-
400 billion.
That would be more like the debt.
Oh.
And if the debt, so the deficit is like how much more money we spend than we actually have.
I'll bet you it's around a trillion
as a country.
trillion Around $1 trillion.
$3 trillion
As a country.
and 70 cents.
So let's pull it up. According to fiscaldata.treasury.gov, it is $1.5 trillion.
Wow.
We didn't go over.
$1.5 trillion.
How many commas is that, Phil?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 commas with 3 numbers in between each.
Wow.
Followed by a 1 on the
numbers
left.
go?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's a crazy amount.
It doesn't matter anymore. The dollars don't. They don't matters anymore.
$1.5 trillion. It ends up being about so down
5
here,
dozen eggs.
So the total revenue of the United States government, meaning like all the money they bring in taxes for 2023, was $4.4 trillion, which is 16% of our GDP.
What?
And if you remember, GDP is the total amount of like all the value of the economy in the year 2023. So like everybody's sales, all of it.
All the things that we produce in the United States.
16% of it was tax revenue. 16% of everything everyone made. The total we spent was $6 trillion, which was 22% of GDP. 22% of everything we spent as a government, which ends up being 6% of all GDP, was just new debt we took on in 1 year. Now, keep in mind, this isn't like at the height of COVID. This is 2023. Right. It's last year. And we took on $1.6 trillion in new debt.
That's amazing.
That's the amount of debt by the federal government, right? Not the total debt of the people of the United States, correct?
Just the government.
Just the government, yes.
And do you want to take a stab? What is the national debt right now? What the total is?
8.6 trillion.
No, it's like 35 trillion.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Holy Spirit can see all. And it is 35 trillion 346 billion.
Keep going.
632 million 271,646 dollars.
And
per the date of this
how many cents
broadcast. It didn't break it down in cents. I don't think have you noticed when you pay your taxes is like it says on there, don't do cents. Just round it up or down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want it. It's probably too much math.
Too much programming.
Or the IRS is literally telling you that cents are worthless.
They are.
Don't even bother.
Costs more money to make pennies than they are worth.
Yeah. So this kind of shocked me because I don't know when this happened, but it seems like a few years ago, we had never had more debt than the entire GDP. So the GDP in 2020 was 21 trillion. In 2021, it was 23 trillion. 2022, it's 25. So it's going up. In 2023, it's 27. Now, keep in mind, inflation is going up too. So we could literally do nothing. And that's number's going to go up. $27 trillion was the GDP, the gross domestic product in 2023. And the national debt is 35 trillion. That's like you being in as much credit card debt as like your annual income plus like 20%. So let's say you make 80 grand a year. It's like being 100 grand in credit card debt. And I say credit card debt because you're literally just taking on debt to live, right? To just pay basic expenses, which is pretty much what we're doing as a government.
It blows my mind, and I just Googled this, and I want you guys to guess. When was the last time the national debt went down?
Decreased in a year over year.
2001.
You're a little bit off.
decreased, I have no idea. I think 0 was almost when we switched from the gold standard. I mean, we're talking probably the 50s.
January of 1835.
Wow.
That was the last time that
The
what?
national debt decreased
Oh, like
by
we had,
even $1.
like we actually paid off
We
more
paid
debt
off.
than we took on.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, that's what the internet says, so it's got to be true.
1835.
Yeah, that was like
So,
5 years after
the church was organized.
wow, that's
started.
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, but it's like Jake says, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
Does it even matter if the number just keeps changing and just
The only way it would matter is if all these countries and whatever who have given us money said we want you to pay it all off.
Well, apparently, so that's what I always thought. I'm like, if we go into tons of debt, it's because we're just like loaning money, borrowing money from China. But apparently, most of it is issued from U.S. bonds and treasuries. So it's literally like the U.S. is like, buy stock in us. So anyone can buy it. China can buy it. Like a banker can buy it. Some guy with like that wants to invest money can buy these bonds, and the U.S. pays back interest on the bonds. They're kind of like stocks.
But we're getting loans to pay that interest, right?
Well, we're just issuing too many bonds. I mean, and inflation is going up and up because we're like issuing all these bonds.
And
we're printing all
more
this money, and it's like it's not helping. And
No.
it's so weird because in recent history, like in the last 10, 20 years, we've seen all these other countries like Venezuela, for example, who do the same thing. They're like, oh, our money, blah, blah, blah. People don't have money. Let's print a lot more money. And then it's like, wow, now it costs $27,000 or whatever they have in Venezuela.
Dolores.
To buy
a
like
loaf of bread.
To buy a loaf of bread, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
crazy.
And that's what's been happening. $35 trillion
That could almost buy you a pickup truck.
An F-350.
So, and this is one of the things that made me think that Donald Trump is really going off his rocker.
What?
Because he's like, I have a plan to fix the national debt. We're going to buy a whole bunch of Bitcoin, and then we're just going to pay it all off.
He didn't say that.
He really did say something like that. Let's look it up.
I don't know.
Trump's
Doge.
Bitcoin debt plan. Radical. This is according to Forbes magazine. The future of finance. Radical Trump plan for a huge bank shakeup revealed. Donald Trump, the former president, blah, 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 embraced Bitcoin and crypto in recent months and floated a radical plan to pay off the U.S.'s $35 trillion debt pile. I'm trying to figure out what he actually said, but it didn't even say.
If the government bought Bitcoin, it would destroy Bitcoin.
You think so?
Well, it just, I don't know. It seems like
or would it destroy the dollar?
I think they'd, well, yeah, it would for sure.
If they bought 35 trillion in Bitcoins? I don't know. I don't even know if you could do that.
7 Bitcoin.
Maybe what he thinks, he's like, we'll just buy like 10 trillion in Bitcoins, and in like 5 months, we'll have enough to pay off the debt. We'll be good. Because it's so volatile, maybe?
I don't know, Phil.
All right.
You're talking about 3 things I don't understand.
Money, Bitcoin, and Donald
math.
Trump.
Yeah.
and 11:15 p.m.
Yeah. It's getting late, isn't it? Did you guys have fun backpacking?
What? When?
When we went?
To the Tetons?
Yeah.
Tetons?
Yeah. Of
We
course
didn't even
did.
talk about it.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think you were there.
It was rough at parts.
Yeah.
It was scary,
Yeah,
for sure,
the
going
whole-
over the top. But it was a fun time. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah. It was like different than what we've done before. We hiked in snow with like
That's right.
cleats on our boots, holding pickaxes,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Only one of us got sick.
Only one. Oh, yeah. Bolter got sick.
Bolter almost died.
He almost died, but we made it. This was a couple months ago. But it was a good trip. And if you want to follow our trip, you can do so on our website, AmericanForked.com. Go to the backpacking page where you can click on our Teton trip, which is the only one we have like kind of almost done now. And you can see detailed maps, GPS coordinates. And
I took a look at that today. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah? Did you like it?
Mm-hmm. You did a good job.
Yeah. The idea is like if you want to get into backpacking, or even if you are in or looking for some more trails, more places to go, we've gone to a few, and you can go to them also at AmericanForked.com. Remember that this is American Forked.
Are you ending the podcast?
The podcast? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm listening.
I'm here. Okay, I'm checking in.
Let me wake up real quick. Okay, go. End it.
Anyway, check us out on patreon.com/AmericanForked, where you can donate some money to us. You'll notice we don't advertise for people.
Not with their permission, we don't.
Yeah, we advertise without people's permission. We don't have ads. We rely totally on your donations, and we thank you, donators and patron supporters, and thanks to our listeners, and thanks to Jeff for staying awake this whole time, even though it's 11:18.
I couldn't do it without the listeners.
Thanks to Trent for letting us use his fort.
That's true.
Oh yeah, thanks Trent, and thanks Trent for not showing up again. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
yeah. But
you did
get Thai food for the debate. That was passive. Good, right?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it?
Go turn it off.